as well. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the November 17th Board of Public Affairs meeting. And you've all been presented with that. Additions, corrections, comments? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
I see no additions or corrections. I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
This is Annette. I'll second it. Jim?
Yes.
Annette? Yes. Dick?
Yes.
Karen? Karen? Can't hear you. Tom?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is a hearing of public concerns. We have a number provided. We'll just hesitate here for about 30 seconds. If we get no calls, we'll proceed.
While we're waiting, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I switched microphones.
Okay, next on the agenda will be a resolution. Could you please number and read, Laura?
Resolution number 49, 2020, approving the 2021 Bryan Municipal Utilities budget and requesting City Council adoption of the same.
Nate, would you like to start that conversation?
Sure. As you recall, the board received the 2021 draft budget presentation at our last meeting on November 17th. We again presented the draft 2021 budget to City Council Finance Committee at the Don North Building on the 23rd. We respectfully request the board approve and ask for City Council approval for the proposed budget. If there's anything you guys would like to ask, I think Dawn or I hopefully may be able to answer any questions if you have any.
I have a question, Karen. I see on the budget summary page that the electric fund, the 501, was decreased a little, but yet the capital fund was increased. I'm wondering if there was like a change in maybe moving something from the 501 to a capital project. It didn't affect the bottom line, the overall total, but I just noticed those numbers were different. And then our percentage did go up to almost 4%, a reduction overall from 2020 to 2021. So just curious, maybe what happened there.
Yes, that's a very good observation, Karen. That has to do with the 34-5 project, which we're going to ask you for at the next agenda item to reject the bids, which was initially in the 2020 budget. But because of the amount of time that we have left in the year, we had to move the appropriation to 2021, which changed our transfer from the 501 to the 515 slightly for next year. So, and it didn't impact the bottom line. We just moved it from one budget year to the next. Thank you.
Thanks for explaining that. Appreciate it.
Any other comments or questions? I know it was a tight budget. We had to tighten that up. I don't know how many times, but everybody did a good job.
Nope. Looks like a lot of work to that. But I'll make a motion, Vic. I know you're about ready to ask that. I'll make a motion that we approve the 2021 BMU budget.
I will second.
Karen?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is another resolution. Could you please number and read, Laura?
Resolution number 50, 2020, authorizing the Director of Utilities to reject all bids received and to re-advertise the 69 to 4.16 kV power transformers for the 34.5 kV upgrade project.
Nate, would you like to start that conversation?
Sure. If you may recall, the board authorized on August 18th at the BPA meeting, the advertisement for the major equipment for the 34.5 project included in the 2020 budget. There were basically two bids in that equipment bid. One was for two 69 4 kV power transformers, and the second bid was for the substation structures. Bids for the two transformers were opened on October 9th. And it's the opinion of BMU team and our consulting engineers, SSOE, that the proposed bids exceed power transformer sizing requirements. Basically, they were 10 MVA and we needed 5 MVA. So they exceeded the size. And that also exceeded over our budget. And the cost was over. So we believe by rejecting and re-advertising the revised transformer specifications, that we could look to save at least $175,000 to $200,000 in this bid. So we think it's a physically responsible approach to basically get these bids and reject them and basically ask to re-advertise. We're still evaluating the structures bid, and we're almost done with those. So we should, in the near future here, be coming to you to deal with the structures bid, but we want to get this transformer bid back out there. So we respectfully request the board to reject all bids for the transformer and ask the board's permission to rebid the transformers with the updated specifications. I'd be happy to answer any questions along those lines if you'd like.
So I do have a question. You have in here, so you're going to go for a bid for a remanufactured transformer?
We added that option. We think we're value engineered it a little bit, although, and the one reduction would be the transformer sizing, which should be much cheaper, and also adding the option of a remanufactured. So we think we're going to get a lot better bids on this. So we're putting that out there as an option and adding it into the specifications, which is pretty much the reason for the rebid. I think was what Rhonda kind of talked about. If we weren't changing the specifications, we could probably go out to rebid. But since we're revising the specifications and doing those changes, it's to our best interest to re-advertise for bids.
Okay. I guess my only other question would be if you end up selecting a remanufactured transformer, I guess what would the life expectancy be?
It would be this. They usually give you the same manufacturer's warranty as a new one. That's kind of why we looked at this option. And to be honest with you, it'll probably still be close, but we think that there still may be that chance that you can get a remanufactured, but the manufacturer's warranty will be similar or exceed in some cases. It depends. So I don't think we're going to take any less of a product by doing this. We all talked about it, and we think it's in the best interest to put that out there, and hopefully, between those two specifications, we can get, hopefully up to $250,000 off. So I think that's, and we're not going to cheat ourselves out of a lesser product by doing this.
Okay.
Nate, is the availability of this? I mean, I guess what I'm looking at is a transformer with a 4 kV secondary side. That's pretty outdated, I guess, is a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure because of technology, transformers like that aren't just sitting around waiting for somebody to pick them up. And I wonder, is the lack of availability affecting the price on this, could you say?
I don't think so, Jim. I think that they can pretty much build those things any way you want. So the 69 to 4 is what's existing. I think there's remanufactured ones out there that are available because we've kind of looked at it a little bit. And it also shows the availability is there because we received, to be honest with you, I can't remember off the top of my head, but like 3 or 4 bids, at least 3, that we received for this. But they exceeded our estimates because of basically the sizing, going with the 10.
Right.
The existing transformer there now is a 5. So I think, of course, it's not going to be half the price of a 10, and I don't know exactly what that will be, but we estimate it to be approximately $200,000 just in the sizing. But I think the availability is still out there.
Well, I guess
and they manufacture. The lead times on these things take a while. So
yeah, I'm sure it does. I guess I just wondered because I know in years past. This particular customer, I know it was discussed by one of our previous directors about, of course, that business has changed hands a number of times, but I know when it changed hands different times, they would discuss an upgrade with them on their secondary feed. I'm sure they realized that their system would be more reliable, more efficient, and probably their bills would be less if they would do an upgrade.
I would say it's highly possible. I mean, we can't get into their secondary side and get into their stuff, which is what we don't want to do. But this is definitely going to be better than what they have. The sizing is the same. We did a 5-year study to see what their load was in the last 5 years. We had our engineering firm kind of look at that. It replaces it with a like product, like size. And right now they got 2 different transformers sitting there, different brands, you know what I mean? So, and they had to buy a used one. The last time I think one was stuck in there was a used one. So we're going to have a lot better product for them, more reliability. And being on that 69, also that that's a more, you're less likely to have problems with that 69 than you would with a 1247, distribution.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Very seldom do we have 69 problems. So the reliability factors is huge also. So I think it's going to be okay. I think it'll be fine.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments or? Mr. Gressel, do you have anything to add or?
I was just going to let Annette know that the same warranty applies to the remanufactured as well as the new. It's the same 10-year period. And also we have designated the new CTs, new insulators, new all copper inside. So literally the remanufactured would just be the shell being
The original part.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've purchased remanufactured transformers in the past, many times, in my memory anyway, with no problem, and like on the warranty too.
Well, I know in the past there's been times that the different manufacturers would affect the quality of the transformer. I'm sure that won't be an issue here. I guess I don't mean to beat this to death, but I know that like I say, with the technology they're using on their side of this transformer, I mean, if the transformer lasts 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is, whenever they get around to replace it, they're kind of just kicking the can down the road in my estimation. But it is what it is, and I'm good with that.
Be interesting to see what prices we get on the different kinds.
Yeah, it will be. I will make a motion that we approve resolution 50.
Jim,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette.
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is a request to authorize educational assistance. Dawn, would you like to address that?
Thanks, Dick. BMU and the city recognizes that the skills and knowledge of its employees are critical to the success of the city and utility operation. This education request is for 2 classes that are directly related to the employee's position and job duties. So we respectfully request the board approve continuing education funding for 2021 for Kevin Douglas. The request is in compliance with the educational assistance policy and is not to exceed the $1,200 calendar year maximum. And Jim Caressel, the power plant superintendent, is on the meeting tonight if you have any specific technical questions.
It just seems to me like he's taking it, Kevin's taking advantage of bettering his, his opportunities. And, we've always encouraged that.
He's doing very well at it, going right through it, getting very good grades, along with completing the training that we have for, advancing in the operator level. So he takes complete advantage of all that to try to learn as much as he possibly can. He's been doing a great job for us.
Good.
Good.
Someday he'll be replacing you, Jim.
I hope someday to foster that out of somebody in the power plant.
That would be good.
That's my goal anyways.
Any other questions or comments?
Nope.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Kevin's request for the educational assistance.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I will second.
That. I'll second it.
I think 3 of us seconded that all at the same time, so.
Jim,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Annette.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is a request to set the final BPA meeting for 2020. I know with respect to the ladies, you're still working. Other 3 of us are retired, so it's kind of what would work best for you folks. Any dates that may work for anybody this month?
Are we still looking for a Tuesday or what are we doing?
It could be any day.
Oh,
Any day, really. I mean, it doesn't have to
Normally,
be. I'm sorry.
sorry. I'll let her know that normally we try to
Sorry, Karen, but I didn't.
one of the employees' lunches is usually when we try to plan it towards the end of the year. But we don't have to. I'm just saying that's kind of what it is, happens. Do you have any dates?
That's a good point, Karen. That's a good time to have it, but Dawn, are we having a luncheon this year or?
We have not decided on the specifics because of COVID. But I highly doubt that we have what we would typically have with the whole entire group together. My guess is maybe each department will look at doing something. I think you guys typically meet on the last day or the day before, and that also helps us capture all of the bills through the end of the year.
May I ask, Mayor, has council decided when they were going to have theirs? So it's not in conflict with you?
So we have not decided, but it's usually that Wednesday, Thursday, and then you guys usually go like the 30th or the 31st so that you're after us. And I was actually just kind of keeping notes because I wanted to make sure we got our year end before you did. I will tell you on the city side, we opted not to have a city Christmas lunch. We are actually having basically to-go meals catered in individually, like basically lunch boxes sent to each department through the course of a week. We just can't gather like that right now responsibly.
Right. Be a good thing to do.
Mayor, we're doing the same thing here at BMU, but I think they were referencing usually employees throw money into a pot and order pizza on the last day. Is that what you were referencing, Dick and Karen?
Yes. Oh, that may be a conflict and this year because of the COVID, so.
Well, I mean, could we do the 31st, maybe early afternoon or even
What say you,
mid-morning?
Karen?
I'm free.
Yeah, I'm on vacation that day.
Oh, good.
Me too.
How about you, Karen?
Yeah.
To make time whenever we decide to meet. I can arrange that in my schedule. Thanks for asking.
Okay. How about you, Jim, Tom?
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm flexible. That works for me.
Okay. Any particular time? Any particular time for anyone or?
Could we do it mid-morning? Like, I don't know, 10 o'clock?
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
It'll be virtual anyway, I assume.
right.
So, yeah. So 10 o'clock on the
Okay.
31st.
We'll make it 10 a.m. on the 31st.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I have a
Dawn,
motion
you
for that, please?
Sorry.
Could I have a motion for that, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll entertain a motion that we set our last meeting for 10 a.m. on December 31st.
So move.
Second.
And
Tom?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
yes,
Annette?
Yes.
Okay, probably would be a good thing to do at that meeting. Why don't we have a discussion about choosing a board chair and vice chair, or have a conversation about it for 2021? If that's okay with everyone.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda, the motion to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion that we effect semi-monthly disbursements.
This is Annette. I'll second it.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette?
Yep. Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda will be comments from the board and staff. Let's start with Laura.
I have nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Rhonda?
Nothing, sir. Thank you.
Mayor?
I just want to thank Dawn and Nate for coming up to our budget hearings last week and doing a very good job explaining to the two council members what the plan was for the utility. And I know that they worked really hard with Lori, and Lori worked really hard with them. So kudos to all three of you on that. And I look forward to seeing all of you soon. Stay well.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Caressel?
I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Thank you. How about Nate?
I just want to wish everybody well and everybody stay safe, and that's about all that I have.
Thanks, Nate. Dawn?
No, thank you.
Before I go any farther, Jim, could we get an update on the new Lawrence substation? How's that going?
It's going pretty well. We are planning on bringing 69 into it this Thursday. And then we're going to have UIS there to do some of their testing, make sure the phasing's right and things like that. Probably won't turn one of the feeders on yet until the transformer has a few days to kind of warm up and to make sure we're getting everything out of it that we're supposed to. But yeah, we're supposed to bring electricity in. We're supposed to be out there at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. So from that point on, everybody will need a hard hat and, you know, the appropriate stuff inside the sub.
Good deal. How about Turbine 2? That going okay?
Well, Turbine 3, we had Harry here, and when we got everything out of it, the runner swung to the one side, so we know it's not hanging plumb by the thrust bearing. My biggest issue right at the moment is just getting enough people together because we're starting up the generator at GT2. We got the industrial sub going on, and to me, those kind of take priority right at the moment over generator 3. Luckily, we don't have much water, so we're being able to handle all that. But we got to disassemble the top of number 3 to get down into the thrust bearing and make some adjustments. So it sounds easy, but as you well know, that's a lot of work to take the top of it off and make the adjustments so we can get it back plumb and put it back together.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Sure.
How about you, Annette?
I'm just going to say thanks to Laura, Dawn, and Nate for really slimming down the budget for 2021. And it really reflects the efforts you guys put into it. So thank you very much.
Mr. Sprow?
Kudos to Kevin Douglas for wanting to further his education. That's good to see. Move up the ladder eventually. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Karen?
I want to thank the water department crew for their fantastic work. The other night we had a leak down at the end of my block where I live, and they came out, quickly took care of everything, cleaned it up well. I walked down to see what was going on. I had noticed I didn't have any water and tested the house and knew it wasn't internal. Was headed over to the neighbors to see how she was on, and that's when I saw the lights down the street, and they'd already taken care of quite a bit of it. Had put a service saddle in that leak, and then they went above and beyond. When I came back in the house after the repair was fixed and the guys were leaving, I found I still didn't have water and couldn't figure it out. And I called John Caperton, and he and Dave came back down, checked the meter pit out front, and that was working. So checked to find out I have a water filter, and not knowing that knob goes 360 degrees around, and yeah, that's what it was. So that's not in their job description, not in their job duties to help a customer out that far, but that's an example of the kind of people we have working for the utility, and I appreciate their help. So just wanted to make mention of that and give them some credit work to do. And you know, if I could have got them coffee or hot chocolate, I would have, but they were doing the job so quickly, they didn't need it. So appreciate that. And I think that's all I have to say for tonight, Dick.
Hey, thank you, Karen. Mr. Salsbury.
I too, I would like to thank everybody for their hard work on the budget. I know it wasn't an easy thing under the conditions. I hope everybody stays well. Please, everybody, use common sense and stay away from this virus. Hopefully we can get through this thing soon. And I also like to say anybody out there that might currently be fighting this virus, I wish them a quick recovery. Thank you, Dick.
I'd just like to share about the same thing Jim just said. Thanks for the hard work on the budget. I know it was a stressful time for everybody, but we got there. And thanks for all your hard work. As Jim said, I just hope everyone stays safe and just use your common sense, and hopefully we can all get through this together unscathed. But yeah, just hope everybody had a good virtual Thanksgiving. I know I did. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to the other end. Okay, that's all I have to say. Did I miss anyone? Eric, do you have anything to say? He's shaking his head no. So thanks for the video, all that help that you and KB do. We appreciate that. Well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Jim,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And I'd like to